What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am still James.
And we are doing some movie reviews. I'm sorry. We're doing some trailer reviews, trailer reactions. We are reacting to Ip Man 5, Ip Man Kung Fu Master. Now, they've been, like I said, this is part 5. And I remember the first Ip Man came out like 2008.
Yeah.
Starring Donnie Yen. And you got to think, Donnie Yen, he looks great for his age, but he's about 50-something now. And when he started this in 2008, you know, he was like, I wasn't thinking about doing this for 12 years, you know what I'm saying? It's a new actor now.
Right.
And I think, and plus Donnie Yen kind of pushing to Hollywood, so he want to get, you know.
So I do
you probably want to move on.
Because, like, they made a couple of unrelated Ip Man movies since his last one. Mm-hmm. So, like, is this another unrelated, or is this actually in that same franchise?
Well, this is part 5. So the other unrelated ones was when he was in. They did a prequel when he was like in college,
and then they did the Grand Master.
They did right. He was an older man. They had like an older guy, I guess. But yeah, now we all know Ip Man was. He trained Bruce Lee when he was a kid or whatever. Mm. And I kind of think they just going on with that, on and on about the mentor of Bruce Lee, you know. And I mean, if you know the whole story, I ain't saying that he wasn't Bruce Lee's mentor, but far as I know, Bruce Lee trained with him while he was a young man, and then, you know, once he went to America as a teenager, started developing his own style and kind of did his own thing.
Well, like, even within like the whole story of, you know, him training Bruce Lee, it wasn't the Bruce Lee we got to know.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. It was just like Bruce Lee wanted to learn a martial art. He trained him, and then he moved on and blew up. It's just like you can just name drop him now because I taught him. I didn't teach him what he know and what he's famous for, but I taught him how to fight originally.
You know, that's like saying, I taught Ali his jab.
Yeah,
I never saw him again. But
And you know what? I ain't trying to talk bad about Ip Man. I'm just saying that, you know, they just been dropping. They use Bruce Lee, that whole the whole aesthetic of him being Bruce Lee teacher, like a lot. But anyway, he's real.
The savior of mainland China.
Yeah, I know he's real big. Is a big Chinese folk hero now. And like I said, they keep going on with these movies. And I'm like, okay, I doubt the real. It was probably based on something true. The first one, maybe the second one. Now they just you know what I'm saying. Now this is full on fiction now. It just, you know what I'm saying. It's now he's pretty much a superhero now. Yeah. You know, he beat the armies of men and he always fights some loud, brash American and beat the crap out of. But you know, I did like Ip Man too when he fought a boxer. Yeah, and that was a good fight. All of them was pretty good. I love all the Ip Mans. And also that's what I wanted to say. I love the original Ip Man. I didn't really get into the third one. That's the one Mike Tyson was in. And then they have the fourth one. And like we said, Donnie Yen was like, hey, look, I want to move on. I'm in Hollywood. I want to do some other stuff. So they got a new guy. So let's watch this trailer and see what this new Ip Man looking like. So without further ado, Ip Man 5, Kung Fu Master.
功夫练来何用？有的人用它打打杀杀，有的人用它修身立命，而我回头是岸。
叶探长，
这里的钱，你们能拿多少？
袁处长，我们警察的王法，一定还他一个公道。
三也要。
如果穿这身警服，
你跟他这个署长
只会任人宰割。
原来是你们害死我！左先生，如果再不出去。
Really? Now it's Legend of the Fist too.
阁下好功夫，阁下参与，我们走。
All right, we back. I apologize to anybody who couldn't see the subtitles because our banner was covering the subtitles. So if you ain't Chinese, you probably like, man, what the? If you don't speak Chinese. But hey, the action anyway, you
Yeah.
just didn't really get the plot. But I know you were saying something earlier. My apologies, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait till actually it was over before we
You
get
were
your
right,
thoughts
though.
on
You
that
were right.
on that Kato mask. That was your problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you was tripping off of.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Like, so was that supposed to be taken off from Kato or Legend of the Fist? Like,
I think it's kind of an homage to Kato, where maybe because it clearly wasn't Bruce Lee, but maybe there was somebody in the story that grabbed the Kato mask and did some fighting with it or something. That's what it looked like. And I was like, oh, at first I thought they was trying to do Bruce Lee. Like, oh, when Bruce Lee, in between shooting the Green Hornet, he used to wear his Kato mask and go out and fight crime for real or some shit. At this point, they could do something like that.
they might just make their own Avengers flick off of this.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, I'm looking like, because they keep on incorporating Bruce Lee into the Ip Mans, because I think he was in the fourth one more.
Yeah.
Where he was
He tried to show up and talk some stuff, right?
where he was fighting.
Oh, that was when he brought him over to teach.
Well, in okay. First they had it more accurate, where he was after he was already kind of a movie star. He came to see Ip Man. Ip Man was like, "Nah, you don't really do Wing Chun no more. I'm kind of like cool on you or whatever." They kind of had a little disagreements or whatever. He was like, "Nah, master, I still respect you. I want you. I want to show you that your kung fu is good or whatever, but I'm on something else." That was kind of originally they kind of kept it like real, and then by the time they got to part 4, they had him. Oh yeah, let me go holler at my Uncle Ip Man. And, oh, it's some thugs out here. Let me beat their ass in this alley. It was like one of them deals. And he doing all the mannerisms, the Bruce Lee mannerisms, and fighting some dude with nunchucks and all this. Some dude happened to have nunchucks in his back.
Yeah.
And then, thank you.
Okay.
I hate that thing. Anyway, some dude just happened to have nunchucks. Like he was fighting some karate dude. Like he was in a restaurant. Some dude in the alley started kicking dumpsters. Like, I challenge you, and he just happened to have some nunchucks in his back behind his back. Bruce
Like you do.
I'm an expert in these. Huh? How lucky is that?
Just walking with some nunchucks like you do.
Yeah. So anyway, this movie in itself, it looks like all the other ones. It looked real good, but it looks like they went from more of the realism to just a fantasy action.
Yeah.
Where I said the first one was more. It was almost like a historical. What they call that? Like a
historical fiction, or
right. It was like a realistic, because it happened like when Japan started to invade China.
Yeah.
And it's kind of close to Chinese connection. That was that time where this after they invaded and then they took control, and it was like, how was life? Where they just kind of like they was doing them wrong and somebody was fighting back. So it was kind of like a true, more. It was more realistic and all that. And then, like I said, as the movie went on, then they started having punching people and they fly 30 feet. They went to that route.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that, or did you like originally how they did it?
I really like that first Ip Man.
Yeah, I know it's a classic.
Like, I can't find fault in that movie. Like, it's just not in me too.
Yeah.
But like, the further along you go in this franchise, you start getting more of that wuxia type.
Yeah, the
filmmaking.
wushu. That might be why Donnie Yen decided to pull out or move on, because it's. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he do wushu, but that's more Jet Li thing.
Yeah.
But it was like the wire fu kind of. Where
they're staples of like the wuxia film genre.
Yeah.
And I noticed, like, as his career went on, Donnie Yen started going more for like the more hyper realistic fight scenes.
And I seen him do some MMA. In his movies, he had a movie. I forget the name of that movie. I think it was called Flashpoint.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
But
man, one of the best fight scenes I've seen.
Right, and he did a lot of MMA in there. So I mean, I think he just like he want to move past the little wushu wire work and all that, which is It was an old kind of a Hong Kong specialty, or what should I say?
Yeah.
But like we said, Donnie Yen is kind of like on something else right now as far as how you want to do his action. So yeah, you're right. The original is better. I think they should move on and not do another Ip Man. And like, I like to see these kung fu fantasy movies, but stop using the Ip Man name. You know what I'm saying? They I can say you could do this story and not make it Ip Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just
like, it's not a bad story. That's the thing.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
If your whole story is a jaded cop, can't ride with the force anymore, has to save his home in the way he knows best. That's a good story.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they got rights to use the Kato, but I'm looking like with the mask, this is basically like the Kato story, ain't it? You know, where it ain't, which Kato's supposed to be Japanese anyway, but that's another story. Right. I'm thinking like, yeah, you gotta. I wouldn't even like. Remember I tell you about. Won't you just say, hey, maybe this is Bruce Lee in between Green Hornet takes, or whatever, or make a fictional movie about Kato. How about that? That's cool.
I'd be down for that.
Right, and it's kind of like they kind of did that with Black Mass, but Black Mass, they took the Kato outfit, the look, but the storyline was so different from the Kato, where that's a whole other thing. But I'm like, when I see this, I'm like, this look like I wouldn't be mad if they did some Kato stuff or get somebody a lookalike that looked like Bruce Lee, and basically you can say, this not Bruce Lee, but he just favored Bruce Lee or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? They could do a lot of stuff with that. They don't have to keep on jumping on the Ip Man name, because now you pushing it so far that it's starting to get kind of a little jokey.
Because like, I'm kind of starting to wonder how his family looks at all this stuff.
They probably getting paid for it, so they probably like, whatever. Ip Man 8. You know what I'm saying? As long as that check clears.
Let me tell you about the time my grandfather stopped World War II. Yeah. Wait, what? No, it's a good story.
Yeah, they was like, Ip Man 12. They don't care as long as that check clear, But I'm just thinking,
Ip Man versus Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I love the Ip Man movie, but y'all keep going far and farther away from what it originally was, and it, the first movie, as you said, was such a classic, and it was more realistic and more historically accurate that it's hard to see now. This is just a fun action kung fu thriller or whatever, but it has probably nothing to do with the real Ip Man other than his name, Yeah. So it looks good, though. It looks fun, but I don't want to attach it to Ip Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm with that.
And like I said, and once Donnie Yen is gone, is his name Dennis To? Is it Tao? T-O? Well, they say it's starring Dennis T.O.
I mean,
Dennis 2?
Dennis though.
Okay. I was saying in the way we would say T.O. would be 2, but maybe that's pronounced different or whatever. So I guess that's the name of the guy who's playing him, Ip Man or whatever. But this movie just brings a lot of ideas out that I just thinking like, man, it'd be so kind of cool if they just make like a Kato movie or something. I don't know if they got the rights to do that without messing with the people who make Green Hornet. Like, they might have to, whoever owned the Green Hornet rights, they might have to give them something or whatever.
I don't know.
I would like to see that, though.
Yeah. I'd support it.
Yeah. All right. So that is our reaction for Ip Man 5, the Kung Fu Master. So we're going to be out of here. Thanks for checking us out, and subscribe to the channel and give some thumbs up if you like it. And
comment if you like Kung Fu flicks.
Yes. All right. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.